Hey everyone. So I've just had a couple different things on my mind. I want to talk to you guys about 1 second. So so some of the topics I was gonna go over today is learning how to let go of your expectations um when it comes to making things that you want happen in your life. Something I learned recently after going on this extended period of just not recording a video is that if you don't record a video, millions thousands and millions of videos, thousands and millions of videos are made every single moment of the day. And if you don't have the energy to go through with speaking your voice clearly, a lot of people will estimate that you have nothing to give them, and you have to learn to change your mind about that theory because that won't lead to any genuine success if you are constantly checking what someone else has going on in their plate or on their bowl, because you have to finish your plate. It doesn't matter if you got the smallest plate on planet Earth or if you have the most humongous giant portion. You have to learn how to finish what's on your plate and ignore what's on others' plates in order to be able to make something cook in real life. Something I realized too is like in the amount of time that I spend just like whether it's just smoking or doom scrolling or just like not exercising for sometimes and eating junk food, like all these things contribute to your overall impact on your life and overall impact on society. Thus it's so important to understand that when you're given the opportunity to to be in a space where you can freely create, that you don't take it for granted and end up just spending all your time doom scrolling. Because that's one thing I realized, um, that in the amount of time that I've spent doing other stuff that I know is completely irrelevant to me and completely irrelevant to what's going on in my life has become so eye-opening now that I'm like shocked. I literally don't know what's causing me to become this aware right now. I think it's because I'm turning 25 years old soon and recently losing my job. It's kind of like hitting a weird space where my frontal lobe is developing every day, but I also feel like I'm hindering its development because of the fact that I'm just doom scrolling for hours and hours on end, or just like being completely inattentive in general. I think one of the things that I realized about this inattentiveness that happens is that it'll slowly drain away at your time, and you'll realize it, but you won't feel bad at first because you'll be like, it's okay, it's just time. I'll be able to get it back doing some other stuff, or I'll make it up later. I'll make it up to myself later, and a lot of the times that doesn't happen because once you keep trying to make it up to yourself later, you end up missing the point of delivering what you were wanting to deliver throughout the day, because your day becomes a day of receiving rather than a day of delivering. You end up living your whole reality in a very mixed up kind of state. So you end up um, achieving these small goals, like maybe scrolling 100 times through like reaching the bottom of your feed on Instagram, or you've watched all your YouTube videos, watched all the YouTube videos that you plan to watch later on YouTube, or that you had a bunch of Netflix shows saved up to binge for a long time. Regardless, you'll have to understand that those things aren't gonna contribute to what your full growth pattern is going to be. And if you keep on obsessing over what's coming next, because they're always going to have some junk food cooking for you. It's like they said during Roman times, all you have to do is give bread and circuses to people and they'll be quiet. And I realized that's what's happened in our society. The bread, for example, would be the constant maybe junk food that we're constantly eating, and the circus is the phone or anything going on in terms of the internet, because we are living in a bread and circuses reality, and this is the only thing that people are failing to understand. They think that in the past people were ignorant. No, we're ignorant right now, based off of the way that we're interacting with technology. It's caused us to not be able to connect with ourselves anymore in a way that's wholesome, in a way that leads to innate growth, in a way that leads to satisfaction with life, and in a way that adds on many things, adds on layers and layers to human personality. Because what you do is you essentially strip those layers down to essentially what it is. Oh, I'm just the five basic emotions. I'm laughing, I'm crying, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm feeling confused or angry. And it's just like you that it ends, those emotions end up being the sole controller of your life. It's like you're playing a video game, but it's on story mode, and you don't get to control the story, but you're still you still get to make those small innate decisions in between decisions, and you're not choosing the trajectory of where you're going. It's like if it's like having a game, and you're never gonna understand how to get to to win the win of that game because you're too busy racing backwards on the track. In Forza, you'll never be able to get to that eventual goal that you want to hit. And that all comes down to holding on to what you find important, and making sure to make time for those things. Because I've realized in this amount of time that I took a break from YouTube that nothing's going to be more important to me than what I'm watching in front of me, and what moment I'm currently living in at this current time. And if I don't if I don't find something that's gonna satisfy me now, how am I gonna? If I don't take the time to find something, to dig deep and find the shit from the Shiola in that in the growth, then I will never find the Shiola. I will just be constantly flapping through shit, and that shit's just gonna be all over me. It's gonna be all over my being, all over my material possessions, all over my spiritual body, and I don't want that shit to just be on me. All that negative energy that you never asked for, just to be on you, just because you wanted to click open your phone and look at a couple lights, see a couple different people, like a couple different likes and lights that are just flashing in your face all day. And these lights don't eventually lead to any innate growth. So that's why I'm trying to get back to this point, how you have to let go of all your expectations and give it your 100%. Because you're never gonna be in another moment where you're gonna be this young again. You're never gonna be in another moment where you have as many things as you do right now at your disposal when you're young, and that other people around you might make you feel complete and whole. Those things might go away as you get older, because you never know. Like, things happen in life. Not everything's a smooth sailing. People die. Friends disconnect from each other. Relationships fizzle. So it's not one particular thing you need to be doing. It's like understanding that it's a series of small actions daily that eventually coincide to tell you that the truth is lying latent within you. Like, right now, I could do 20 push-ups right now, and I still feel like that like I still feel like there's always I can do 200 push-ups right now, and I still feel like there's gonna be, I obviously can't because I haven't done it, but I'm saying, like, if I were to do that, and there would still be that innate need. If I didn't learn to let go that, oh, this person did 2,000 push-ups within 2 days, so I'm this much off, and never taking the time to be like grateful for for how far you've come and the amount of time that you've been given. I'm trying not to speak in circles here, but my main point is that you're only given a limited amount of energy, a limited amount of time, a limited amount of space, and a limited amount of resources. And what you choose to do within that space of your resources is how far you will achieve in life and how far you will go in life. Because you can have nothing and still make it, and you can have everything and still not make it. So it's kind of like watching like Suburb Baby at Streamer University. Like, he started off getting barely 50 viewers on his streams, and then motivated himself, just keep on posting and keep on creating entertaining skit after entertaining skit. And this is eventually what led him to his success, because he obviously hasn't completely made it yet. It's not over. And like, there's no such thing as streaming being over. But maybe once you make your first $1 million, which he hasn't yet, but when he does, it's gonna be that quote unquote life-changing moment for you. And then you realize, no, I still want more. I want $5 million. And then you're at 5 million. You're like, no, I want 10 million. So it's never going to be, you're never going to reach that place of complete satisfaction with everything you've ever done, because there's always going to be an itch at the bottom of your heart that you should have gotten something else, or you should have done this other, you should have went with another choice for what you ordered, or the clothes you bought, or the business idea you chose to invest in, or the business that you created. Like there's always going to be these nagging thoughts of how what you did wasn't quite enough, and you have to learn to sort that shit from the shayola, like I said, in order to see that that you will find that there is a grain in there, a grain of there's a grain of rice within that whole, within that sea of and within that haystack, that you should be able to find, and that grain of rice is somewhere in there, and somewhere that you might not be looking right now. But once you eventually once you eventually once you eventually look in the right places and start giving yourself time and being patient, and but also taking continuous action, that's when the things will start to be realized for you. Like for me, I don't want to stay down here in this like down here in this situation forever, of like not knowing where my next paycheck is coming from, and not knowing where my next meal might be coming from, and all these different things. Even though I think alhamdulillah I'm okay right now, I I just want to I just want to make sure that no one else is experiencing, like that other people that experience what I'm experiencing don't just give up immediately, because there is a goal at the end of this light, and there is a goal, and you will find that goal. It's just a matter of locking in to what you believe in, and forcing and not forcing it, but kind of like teasing out what you want, and by teasing these small by teasing these small things that you want, and giving teasers to your life, like a movie when they show a teaser 3 years before it comes out, you realize it's the teaser that will push you in that direction, because you're trying to tease something better in your life to happen. And it's not, instead of just playing with the same toy over and over again, and like it's like if you were a kid, scrolling on reels is like buying the same toy over and over again, just to see different colors on that same exact toy, instead of having a new toy that bends and folds, and it goes in a unique way pattern, it goes in a unique movement pattern or shape or function. And only when you play with that new toy will you realize, what have I been doing this whole time with this old toy? And that happens a lot probably to kids. They realize like, well, I've only had this toy, I would have taken care of this forever. and and then you realize that it's not about that certain, it's not about that certain toy that is causing it's not about that certain toy that changed this person's life, but it's a perspective shift of them running through using the same toy over and over again, and then eventually getting a new one, and this new one being something that changes the way you think, changes the way you interact with your world, it changes the way that you feel this world around you. So in reality, no toy is gonna make you feel that way. No specific, no material object is gonna fully satiate you forever. But in by looking at the things that can, but by looking at building things that can satiate you and can help others, you might make a huge difference in that process. That's about all I wanted to cover for today. But let me know in the next videos, guys, in the chat, what kind of videos you guys want me to cover. I'm open to any ideas. I want to post super often now. I don't want to be lacking on you guys. So